Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to look at two-point perspective. Two-point perspective is oftentimes done in order to draw buildings or things that have substantial height to them. So this would be a good example of that. When we're working with two-point perspective, you're going to hear me talk about the horizon line a lot. That horizon line will determine kind of the angle of the buildings, and if we see any of the top, we see down into the top of them, or if we see them only pointing up. So just like last time, we're going to lay this out. You can put it pretty much right in the middle. Just make sure that it's parallel to the edges of your paper, and go ahead and trace around the outside of that. And after we're done, again, we can put it in Sharpie later on. Everything outside of this, we can always get rid of, erase, or ignore, because what we're going to draw and what we care about is what's inside of there now. So when you're getting started with this, the first thing to do is to designate where your horizon line is going to be. I would say, don't put it super high, way up here. You could put it anywhere into the middle or the lower third or so of it, but definitely don't want it into the upper third of it. It's get kind of awkward, the look of the buildings. I'll put mine just slightly below halfway. Like that, and you can just draw this outside of there too, because we're actually going to take the vanishing points and they'll be outside of the actual space of the artwork. In this example here, you can see I put one vanishing point closer and one vanishing point further away from the actual piece. So I'm going to do the same thing here on this line. I'm going to put this vanishing point, in this case, really far, actually right on the edge of the paper, nice and big there. And then this one I'm going to put a little bit closer distance-wise on that side. That's just going to kind of be able to show two different sides of the building. Now, in order to get started, the first thing we want to do for these is to draw the vertical line. It's going to be the point where the two planes of the building come together, and we'll kind of start with what will end up being kind of the corner of the whole street or the corner of the whole artwork. So I'm just going to make sure that my ruler is parallel to that, and I'll draw a nice tall vertical to get started. And this is going to be, like I said, the corner of the building. That first one, like I drew here, and this one, the corner of the building. And like we did before, we're going to take things back to the vanishing point. So we'll call this the left vanishing point. We'll call this the RVP, or right vanishing point. If it sits to, or it's going to that side, we're going to take this top and make it go there. We're going to take the point from here, make it go there, this side to there to the left, and the bottom to the left. So you always want to do that. I'm going to draw this line light to begin with, because I'm not sure how far I actually want this building to go yet. But this can also kind of like establish the whole street corner. So we're going to go from there to there. Then we're going to go from here to here. And then just do the opposite the other way. So you're going to end up with kind of what looks like a diamond shape. And again, anything we draw outside of the space is totally fine. And then if we draw light enough initially, we can always erase. So we end up with that. These converging back this way and these converging back to that point. I'm going to take another vertical here, and I'm actually going to just stop and draw the edge of this building. So now you can see how this looks kind of like the face of this building. So I can go ahead and darken in the base where I want this building to be at the bottom and at the top, so you'll see it stand out a little bit more. It'll kind of look like it's a long, huge flying rectangle for a minute until I kind of cut off the other side of it. So you see that, and now I think maybe I'll let the building be a little wider on this side. So maybe I'll have it go to here, make sure that is also vertical and parallel to the other lines. I'll put a kind of a hard vertical line there, and then I will darken in these shapes off the top and bottom to kind of make that one piece stand out. So a lot of you, after you see this first one, you say, oh, I think I get it, I think I get it. And you can probably continue on and kind of push and make more of these. Then I invite you to try some different challenges and different things. I'm going to make another building next to this and then put some kind of streets in. I'll show you that part next. So we're going to leave a gap between these buildings here. And I'll put a vertical up. And then I'm going to take this edge of that vertical, have it go to the left vanishing point, and have the top. I don't want it to maybe, yeah, I'll have it be the same height. That's fine. And I'll have this point here also go to that vanishing point there. And so now you're starting to see that this is going to look like a gap between these two buildings. And I'm going to call that the street that's going through there. We'll put another vertical here to kind of finish off this building. And go there. And then go here on the top. Always going to either vertical or to a vanishing point. Really about the only horizontal line you're going to have in the whole thing is the horizon. So now just for cleanup's sake and so that everybody can see a little easier, I'm just going to go in and erase out some of my extra unnecessary lines. And that's, I think, going to clarify everything for you and know where those objects are. You understand them a little bit better. Now, if I want to keep this here and make this kind of come out like it's a street, I can just go from the edge of the building here, where it was before, go back to that vanishing point, line this up, and just draw that line in. And then where this building's corner is, go to that, line that up, and extend that out. And I did them kind of light. You can kind of see that this looks like that's a road or a street or a sidewalk coming between those two buildings, like that. Cool. If I wanted to have another one going this way, like it's an intersection, I could take from this vanishing point and pick kind of like the width of the road that I want and make that come this way. And then extend this one here out that way if I want, or I could have another intersection there, which means I should probably erase these lines here. So now I think you're probably able to see that that looks like two buildings at the cross section or intersection of a sidewalk. I want to put one of these buildings lower than the horizon line so that you can see into the top of the building. So I'll do that now. We'll put another little building here. Start with the corner of the building. So I'll make it a short little building here. Cool. And then I want to take this building like I did before to the vanishing point here. And we'll take the bottom. We'll make this go down here. And then we'll got this whole side. We'll get that part finished. And then like we did here, we got to take it to the other vanishing point. So we'll go to that vertical line that we made. Bring that all the way over here. And I'm going to let this building stop before it gets to that building. And then we'll bring this one up. Do this one light. Okay. And then this one here, we need to take to the vanishing point. What you'll notice is the top of this building looks kind of funny. It's like kind of flat almost across. It's really close to the horizon line and it's below it. So we actually need to draw the very like little extra top of this building. These buildings have nice points at the top because they're pretty far from the horizon line. If I were to draw a building slightly above, we just have a tiny little point. This one's slightly below, so it has a tiny little crease or divot. And because of that, we need to take this point and go the opposite way with it to the left vanishing point. So even though it's on the right side, we're going to take it to the opposite vanishing point. I'll draw that light. I don't need to connect it all the way. I'm going to take this one here and draw it to the opposite vanishing point as well. And where these two intersect is actually the back upper part of the building. And again, it's a pretty tight little diamond or a tight little space there because it's so close to the horizon. If we were to drop these down further, it'd probably be a little easier to see how that works. Okay, so hopefully you can kind of see that box there. We can do some other fun things with these. We could put taller buildings in. We could put buildings in behind. We could extend out more roads from here. I'm going to continue to do that. If you feel like you understand this and you're ready to move on, feel free. But I do want to show some other details. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to put a little indentation in this building and have like a doorway that opens up. So I will draw another line that comes up here. And I think I'll maintain about the same width here. So I'll put a little vertical line that comes up here. We're going to create an indentation here. So I'll take this and slide this over to the vanishing point. Find a nice height for that. So I just kind of carved this out. It still looks like it's just drawn or flat on the building. So I actually want to make it have an indented kind of section. So I'm going to take from the base of this side on the inside and drop this backwards here. And I'll pull this up here. It's going to look like a little pocket, a little hole. And then I'm going to take this corner and shoot it this way from the vanishing point. So it's pretty fun. You can like shape out little things. I'm actually going to then erase the base of this building. So it looks kind of like there's a little inlet or a little doorway that's at the bottom of that building. That's kind of fun. Again, we could extend. I mentioned maybe making more sidewalks. So another possibility for that, go to this vanishing point here, take this line, extend that one out, go to this vanishing point here, take this line and extend that one out. And it kind of looks like there's a path or a sidewalk that's pretty wide actually, but it's coming through there. I would ask you to kind of continue your buildings, try some different heights. Maybe you could put some windows, indentions, or little bump outs or pockets on the outside of them, the opposite of this. Glad to show you that in a different video. When you feel like you're all finished, how this one's finished here, maybe add some more detail. When you feel like you're all finished, like we did on the previous one, you just want to take and put your Prismacolor tin back over top of it. And then one more time, just put a nice border around the outside of this. And this will complete that practice one. Oh, my Sharpie's not so bold. That's a better one. That'll finish up this 2-point practice. Again, like I've mentioned before, I'd like, 5, 8, 9 different things on here at least. So it's not just 2 or 3. Maybe you want to do a couple more, a few more buildings here. I know 5, 8, 9 is not very specific, but some of it depends on how many buildings you do, how many details you put into them. I really want to be able to look at this and see that you understand what is and how to do 2-point perspective. Thank you so much for watching.